Hey Maggie, how's it going?
I'm in my happy place back on Collider.
Ah, there you go. So I wanted to start off with a question for Frog. Technically not a question. I wanted to say I have been following your career since 2011 when you were a barricade boy in Les Mis.
No
And I
way.
actually have the autograph from when I was supposed to come and see the show, but my mom broke her ankle, so my friends went and got your autograph and the whole cast before the cast changed.
Oh,
Oh
And
no way.
it is
Wow.
such a delight to see how far your career has gone.
Oh,
It
thank
is
you
joy.
so much. Thanks a million.
Very fun little connection there. And then I do want to talk spoilers because this movie had me damn near hysterical when it ended. I was just like, oh my gosh, I need more. I need to know what's happening next. So Ed, I want to know, do you think that Noble is really dead now? Is this a wrap for him? He's defied death once. Will he defy it again?
he's dead.
Yeah. Okay, you heard it
End
here.
scene.
He's dead. I think in the extended cut, it will be more clear because they'll be able to show the effects of what happened to him. So yeah, he's dead.
Yeah,
He's
that
gone.
was my follow-up question. I was going to say, is the extended cut going to show his actual beheading there?
I would assume so, but you'll have to ask the bosses. But yeah, yeah.
So I did also want to ask about what is it like playing villains? Both of you are playing essentially two sides to a villainous coin. You have Noble, which is a more like savage sort of personal villainy, and then you have Balisarius, who is more of like a political evil. So for both of you, like where is your center point in playing those kinds of villainous roles?
Great question.
Yeah, really, really class. I mean, we don't get to see it too much. A little bit in the flashback in part one, but Belisarius has risen up the ranks considerably and was a soldier for the Imperium. And so, I suspect was pretty brutal on the battlefield and is capable of getting his hands dirty. But like any sort of leader that we know of in current world affairs, political history, the truly sort of bad guys are the quiet ones, and Belisarius has reached a point where he is this elusive, quiet, understated political player, and it's that's his happy place because he's the master influencer and puppeteer of the people around him, and he can certainly make Noble do his dirty work for him. Yeah, so as you say, like I'm more of a political villain, and so there's a lot of influence and inspiration to sort of take.
Sadly.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, and if you have a political chess player, you have a manipulative dictator such as Fry in real life, sorry, Balisarius, then who better to carry out your work? If you want to be on the end, if you want to be keeping your hands clean, then who better to have out there getting their hands dirty than someone who wants to be right in people's faces, who wants to prolong the death, who wants to play with their food, like a cat and mice. So yeah, I think it's well noted that we're two different sides of the coin. I think that's yeah.
You can use that in future questions that you answer.
Yeah, that's going to be our answer now.
Yeah.
Why weren't you first up today?
You'll see it like, did you hear Ed's answers to like all of the other interviews apart from Collider? It was amazing.
I wait to see the headlines. Everybody's like, they say they're two sides of the same people.
Yeah.
No, but what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to say to like the whole team, I'm going to be like, you need to scrap that interview. I didn't feel comfortable, and then I'll just copy it, so no one knows where it came from.
There's that villainous turn right
I know
there.
the master manipulator, like
Yeah.
Belisarius.
So I'm not gonna like ask like specifically which political villains in real life you may have drawn reference from, but I was like learning when you're building characters what kind of influences you do pull from. I'm somebody who really likes creating playlists. Music very much influences me. So where did you both kind of pull your influence from when you were finding the voices for your characters?
Well, finding the voices, I mean, that's a really interesting question, because I was found it fascinating when Ed was speaking about this in some previous interviews. When I was asked to tape for this, it stated very, very clearly that I tape in my own accent. Sometimes that has not necessarily meant that I will then do the role in my own accent if I get the job. But in this case, when I got offered the role, flew over to LA, and I heard that, you know, that all of the other sort of members of the Mother World, especially Noble, were speaking in this sort of very sort of high class sort of British pronunciation, and, you know, Britain being that, you know, super famous colonial nation. I suggested, like, would you like me to adopt this as well? And Zack was so adamant that I didn't, because Balisarius is actually an outsider of in this universe and has managed to make his way up the ranks. So, you know, he sounds like me. You know, there was a wee bit of vocal play, just aging him up a little bit, but not really too much. You know, I reckon he's about mid to late 50s in the sort of present day. So, you know, he's not like super old. But yeah, and I've grown to really learn to love speaking in my own voice. I used to hate it. I used to always have to put on an accent. Yeah, I had to sound different from myself in order to just delve into a character. But it's something that I've really learned to love, you know.
Funny that, isn't it?
So it is. It's interesting.
At the beginning, you kind of want to prove to the world that you can be all these different things, and you need to divorce yourself from yourself so that you can be someone else.
Yeah.
Whereas more and more now, I just want to explore and use my own voice, not through laziness, but through almost
so you can actually,
representation as well.
Yeah.
You know, strange thing that, you know, to always have to be, you know, really posh, American.
And it's great to hear a Northern Irish voice on a world stage. I was saying to Ed, like, those voices are famously used in stories about violence in Northern Ireland. But why not a political dictator in outer space?
It's a great time to be Irish right now, too.
It's a great time to be Irish. Very proud.
Yeah. Yes. Well, thank you both so much. I appreciated this very insightful conversation about Rebel Moon, and I can't wait for everybody to see it.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
See you later. See you next time.